Yeah, see, this is a different era of awakening for many people, regardless to race. The last war that people protest for the most part was the Vietnam War. The second one kind of slipped by, the war in Iraq. But now we have, not we, but they've concocted a reason to war against Iran. Pretty much the way they've concocted a reason to war against Iraq and Korea. Different era. The military, men and women that have been selected, and the ones that have seniority in the military, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the case may be. I don't know how it goes, but I think it's 10,000 are to go to Iran. Me and many people discern this as being a bad idea. The military, these young women and men, don't know what they're headed to. You're not dying for your country. As you can see, you're dying for billionaires. You're dying for racists. You're dying for people who have an agenda to subjugate their own, the American public. I won't say constituents because we are not in agreement with what they do. We don't constitute their bullshit. Right now I'm deep in the water and spiritually submerged. We do not constitute their bullshit. We are not the ones that concocted this war. We are at no fault at all. So when you hear content creators say what we are doing to Iran, go ahead, include yourself with Pete Hegseth, Stephen Miller, and all the rest of those blowflies. But once you get hip to what I'm saying, it has nothing to do with we, because you don't have the power to execute any orders over there. Now you can be in agreement with them. Okay? You can be a Republican. Not all Republicans are bad people. Not all Republicans are in agreement with what these are doing. But they're in a position to where they can do what they want to do. To the avail of their party. And the dismantling of the American system. See, here's another thing you have to question yourself about while you're hopping up and down for what they are doing. When shit really gets raggedy, where will they be hiding in safety, and where will you be? Down here like rats in a cage, wanting to cause harm to your fellow man? Yeah, it brings out the worst and best of a lot of people. Unfortunately, the worst. You see with some of the very people who move around daily, seeming to be human and under control of their emotions, you will see them come apart. That's what they are. Less than human. In spirit. Because you're spirit first. You will see these people blame other people for the atrocities of this administration. I've discerned this long ago. I've read the Bible. What does the Bible have in it? It has some history and it has some prophecies. It has some things that you can follow and not follow. Pete Hegseth, Stephen Miller, all of these are Christian Zionists. What do they call them? Christian right, Nazi, whatever you want to call them. These people believe in death. And as they're saying, they're trying to bring forth Armageddon. Now, reading that Bible, I'm sweating because that's what I intended to do. Run in some hot water and sweat. It's good to do that. Reading the Bible, they want to bring across Armageddon. Now, think about this. Humanity is not in the place to do that. They're not supposed to be in the place to do it. It's not their business to try to bring forth Armageddon. So these Christian Zionists, evangelists, most of them white Christians and some of them black, what do they have to do with the universal creator? I'm just saying, if this is supposed to happen as we read in the Bible, Armageddon, and they are trying to bring it to pass, what makes them even human to do that? That means that the majority of them are 666, anti-human / anti-Christ. Along with technology, which I appreciate and I enjoy. You know, I do enjoy and work with AI. But going beyond that, high sensory, surveillance of the public. What the hell are they so afraid of? 95% of the public, 95% of the public, just saying approximately, are not going to do any harm to society. And I would say that at least 50% of society thinks on their own terms as much as they possibly can. Yeah, we're in a system, but we don't allow the system to control everything we're doing. Then you have those in society that move about daily, seemingly unaffected or null and void of the moment. Then there's the rest that know exactly what's happening and want to see certain things happen to society. Pete Hegseth, Stephen Miller, Kevin Roberts, what do they call this? Some type of organization, that Heritage Foundation. All of this seemingly good. See, what you have to also see is this. They speak like that type of a person always have spoke. They spoke in correct, frank, perfect, attractive English. And it's alluring to people who look like them, to many people who look like them. But a lot of people are standing up against their nonsense. You know, perfectly combed hair that's somewhat straight, brushed to the side. Blue-eyed. Or look you in the eye, telling lies. If you can see the person in 360 vision, in a wide vision, without so much as looking into the person's eyes, visualizing the person's eyes, you can see the aura of a person usually. 200 plus young children, girls, I heard, murdered in Iran. That's not including all the kids that were murdered and assassinated and killed in Gaza. Let's not forget about Sudan, which most people look over. Let's not look at 400, 500 years of the past as what's happened here in America. Kids being shot by police. Women being shot by police. Men being shot by police. See, it's not one-sided. As I listened to a commentator cited off of just women, but when I did more research, it's as far as to who was demoted by Pete Hegseth or blocked from getting their one-style evaluation or certification by Pete Hegseth. It wasn't just women, shit. It was also men. You see, everything they're doing against black people, for the most part, that's old. America to evolve, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Unfortunately, until asses like those are out of and jailed. Feeling what the average person feels that has committed less crime, way less crime, but are in jail. And you can see what they're doing. That's totally against humanity. I'm going to sip a bit. Now, I'm in the water, like I say. I'm sipping, but that doesn't have anything to do with me getting boozed up or anything like that. I'm sipping. Because the heat, the water is sweating, the heat won't let you get drunk, which I don't drink to get drunk. Shit, I had a can of Racer the other day. As soon as that stuff hit my tongue, it was like, ugh, I threw it away. I'm not a drinker, but I like to enjoy it. So what I have here is now squeeze, orange squeeze. That's what I got here today. Like I say, I'm sipping. That's what I want to do. But I'm old enough to put the pieces together and see what it is. Donald J. Trump is basically a crack for beings like Hegseth, Stephen Miller, Kevin Roberts, Mike, whatever his name is, to crawl into, to express and exercise their hateful, demonic ways. Don't let the way they speak fool you, because they're only in that position to speak like that. Because when you listen to them, you'll see where they are actually wrong. And the only people that agree with them are people that's of their ilk. That's unfortunate, because it's not human. It's demonic. You see, because if there is a heaven or a hell, they won't be going there. They'll probably be at home in hell. Who knows? Where do they come from? And in hell, in a different realm, they probably don't even sound as perfect as they sound. They probably sound like gremlins or something like that. Well, wait a minute, hold on. Gremlins, they sound fairly educated, right? Who knows? But they would sound like monsters. Metaphorically speaking, I'm just saying, it's all about the spirit, soul. The spiritually speaking, these things do not have humanity. And they can argue with me if they want to. It won't be much of an argument, because I'm not arguing. I'll say what I have to say, and that's what it is. What they do is probably get mad, get upset. Don't walk away from me. When you're talking, I don't want to hear your bullshit anymore. I said what I said, and it affects you that way. That means that I did what I was supposed to do. I hit the mark. Beyond that, I don't need to hear any of that serpentine shit that you're saying. Take a sip. Oh, he's just talking like that in the field because he's somewhere. No, the fact is, the way technology is now, they'll keep your shit and bring it against you. But if it is the truth, why should you fear? If it is the truth, they'll only be upset because you told the truth. And like I say, discerning as a mother, you can read books. You can receive all the accolades that you receive through college, whatever the case may be. But very few of them are so stocked up with intelligence coming from college and books and someone else's statements, narratives that they cannot discern. Because see, being able to discern is given to you from the universe. It's compiled of information that you heard, plus processing the information, processing the thoughts that are given to you, because what you don't realize is your blood carries more than just that red color and just plasma. It carries memory. You ever had deja vu? You wonder where that comes from. That's relapse. That's mental relapse. That's mental recall. It happens like that. You pass by a flower, all of a sudden something tricks you. You can't really explain it. Yeah, they'll tell you all kinds of psychological shit. They'll give you that. But you know what you've experienced. Flying saucers and ETs. I've never seen one, but I've seen something that, I don't know whether it came from Area 51 or whatever, because they're supposed to have like 3, 4, 5, 6 different places around the world in big spaces where nobody can go to, where they do experiments, scientific experiments. So this thing I saw, I haven't seen it anymore. Okay? It was pretty large. It was, when I first arrived back to Florida, East Palo Alto. Once again, I'm a person that I know how to live. I intend to live. I do live. I was laying in a canyon that me and my friends used to walk through when we were little at night, and I was looking straight up at the sky. And it was during a military parade day that they have in East Bay. It was a UFO to me. This thing was triangular. And I don't know how fast it was actually going, but this thing was barely moving across the sky. And it had little gray, what would you call, like ambient looking lights at each point. And it was moving so slow. It was like if I could reach up there and get it, it's like I could grab it just that quick. It couldn't have been moving any more than probably about 100 miles an hour, if that, to stay afloat. UFO to me, that's it. But I've never seen anything come out of the sky. I've never seen anything come out of the water like William Cooper. I don't know what he saw, but he said he saw it. So why should I doubt it? But we live in some strange times. We live in a strange system. People you think that look like human anyway, they look like human, but people you think would be human are doing things against humanity in other places and also contribute to what's going on here. Okay? Killing people for protesting. Killing people for protesting. Something that they're not satisfied with, they're protesting against it. And you get people like Donald Trump or either his people that talk to him and say, look, we don't like this. You know something? Roaches and flies don't like fly spray or insect spray. But you got to do what you got to do. In order to prove to them that they are not needed. So why does this government live like flies and maggots and blow flies? For them to hear something like this, it won't cause them to think, to realize what they're doing. It agitates them. Peace.